Nocturne. Now that Strybreak has changed it. There's a slight difference in how you play.
Stridebreaker is no longer a dash. Stridebreaker is
Yeah.
now just a slow in the area around you.
Yeah. So.
Which apparently makes the item stronger than it was before.
Oh, did not know that, but.
Well, that's just from what I've heard. I don't know if that's actually the fact.
There we go. So, as we look right at the start, it's a very traditional 5-point from both sides.
Hmm.
Well, 4.5 from Regem.
Yeah, well,
Keeping the bot lane together.
No early shenanigans going to come through, which I think is the important thing to know.
Yeah.
Early ward in the topside pixel bush from Yonseni. Going to recall, pick himself up a sweeper, and run towards the bot lane.
Well, interestingly, Sammy looks like he's staying towards the top lane. So both junglers will be starting their reds first.
Yeah, Johnsony and Sammy not really going to be able to fight each other early, I don't think. I don't know who wins that fight.
I think it depends on if Johnsony has his spell shield up. Okay. That's a big part of it, because if he is able to spell shield the 3 Talon knockup, whatever it is, then he gets the increased attack speed. Doesn't take obviously the CC, and I think wins that trade, but it's a very tough one. It's close.
Okay. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty standard start in this early game. It's going to be Sammy actually potentially looking for an early gank. Will be spotted out on the ward, so Loftition should know about this. And he is hugging the bot side of his lane. Sammy going to look for the walk-in now, but Loftition just going to flash himself to safety.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate. Loftition just taking up to 2 there. With 2 would have had the dash.
From that spectrum. Level 2's reached in the bot lane though, and Mr. Blaffer gonna take a decent chunk from Hellman. Valio trading onto Mario Vlad in the top side as well.
Yeah. I have to admit, because Volibear does a lot of
big damage coming through from Loftition. Healed up by Veronica though with that Kingslayer.
It's interesting that obviously Falio with Volibear does deal a decent amount of AP damage, does go to Doran's ring, and is going to try and not let Mario have too much armor in the early game, which I think is quite useful, actually.
Definitely. Could open up a lot of avenues for Loftition and Hellman, even Yonseni in these team fights, to be able to get much more damage off.
I will say as well, the Loftition will almost certainly be going builds that include Blade of the Rune King, and so isn't as worried about armor potentially, which is something to note.
Very possibly.
Yeah.
We could also see Loftition look to maybe, or Loftition and even Yonseni maybe look to pick up Wit's Ends for themselves.
Yeah. I genuinely think kind of Divine Sunderer potentially for Loftition. Into Blade of the Ruin King and Wit's End would be a fantastic build path. I think that's a viable build path, I assume. But that's kind of what I'm thinking he may end up going for here.
Big trades coming through from Falio now. Looking further onto Mario Vlad. Conqueror going to be stacked up. And this Malphite is not really being afforded any room in the lane. Falio is relentless. He's going to look to even try and stop the recall with the passive. Not going to quite get the bounces. Is going to shove the wave under, and it's a big CS lead in the top side.
But that's what's going to happen. A Malphite is actually really struggles into a Volibear, particularly Volibear, who is kind of utilizing the AP scalings.
But it's like we mentioned, this is Invul after they've just taken a loss. This is Invul when you've made them angry.
Yeah. This is Invul going to try and Hulk out. We do see Sammy trying to invade onto the Nocturne.
Yeah, Johnsony able to get his camps and get himself away, keeping himself safe. Hellman running forward. Stand aside going to come through onto the Hufo, and those axes are spinning. Flash forward, ignite down from Marmor. It's not going to quite be a kill. I don't think the ignite is going to tick the Hufo away. No. Just going to keep himself alive, but that is a positive summoner trade in the bot lane. 3 sums from the Regem bot lane for only 2 on Marmor.
And Hufo did have to complete the back, and so this is going to be a huge wave he is going to miss completely. And Hellman is going to just take away a turret plating very early on.
Yeah, very nice to get that gold stacking on the Draven. Those adoration stacks starting to build up as well. If he is able to get a kill, he is going to cash in for quite a lot of money.
Definitely. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, Falio, back with your regularly scheduled programming. An absolute beatdown for Mario Vlad.
Yeah. The 10 CS up already. And Falio is really trying to just make Mario's time a living hell.
You almost wonder, if Falio was to hit level 6 right now, would he go for the dive? Speaking of, he does have that Stormbringer now active. Mario Vlad's shield is up, and he is about 50% HP, so I'm not sure if Falio is going to look for this. Chases the Malphite off his tower, forces the flash out even. And it is now going to be the Stormbringer called. Mario Vlad is forced away from his tower. Unstoppable force back in. Might be able to find the kill here. Falio flashing away. The shield going to come down. Mario Vlad not going to overchase. Dragon secured in the bot lane for Regem.
But it's now coming to the point where Yonsei will also be ticking towards his level 6, and we'll start to see him on the Nocturne being more influential around the map.
Yeah, that paranoia, very, very powerful.
Now, Mario Vlad had used his TP before, so this means Falio will be able to get a decent amount of damage onto this turret now.
We'll also be able to deny a lot of CS. That is another full wave going to disappear.
Yeah, look at the CS bot lane as well. Look at that 20 CS nearly for Hellman.
And I guess this is what happens when you make Invul angry.
Yeah, definitely. And Falio is going to try and help
Yonsei on an invade, yeah.
Sammy's red buff.
Flash away from Sammy. I don't think that won't let the fear pop, but now it is Mario Vlad that is under threat, being chunked out. Sammy diving onto Yonsei though, and Mario Vlad gonna be forced away. Veronica in the area does have the Kingslayer stolen away. Loftitian gonna find first blood, but it is answered on to Falio. Veronica now onto Yonsei is gonna get feared up. Smite gonna heal up. Kingslayer comes through, and it's a double kill for the Silas. Loftitian not quite able to find anything, but this could be big if he can get those resets. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to, though, as they escape under the top side tower. Veronica very low, looking to threaten onto Loftitian some more, but not going to be able to find him. And it's still about 1,000 gold, the lead for Invul. Whirling Death coming through from Hellman. Chunked out very low, though, is the Draven. Both bot laners from Regem, though, about similar HP.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mama is pretty happy. There, standing on like 90% health.
But Hellman should be able to heal himself up pretty effectively with the Omnivamp on that BF sword whilst the axes are spinning.
On the Noon Quiver, but yeah.
Omnivamp's not on the Noon Quivers. It's on the Doran's Blade, not BF sword.
Blade. Yeah, sorry. Probably also will almost certainly have innate healing from, can't remember which rune it is.
Taste of Blood, Ravenous Hunter.
Yeah, Ravenous Hunter, that's the one. Go. Yonsei is waiting in the wings.
Looking around on this bot side.
So, even though 2 kills to 1, the first blood did go.
Yonsei's in danger here. Veronica and Sammy. The paranoia is going to be popped. There is no vision. Loftitian stunning up the Xin Zhao, but it's not a place he wants to be. You do not want to be taking that fight. Sammy gonna find that one. Yonsei gonna limp away to his raptor camp.
A turret plating was just missed as well, I think, potentially in the bot lane. I think it's gone down to 3, and no one was there to collect it.
Herald started up by Falio, but Veronica and Sammy both roaming up to it. Mario Vlad could also move down onto the Volibear here, but not going to be able to take the fight. And this could very well be a Rift Herald taken over for Regem.
Yeah. And it is collected nice and easy by Sammy.
Yeah, the steal was attempted by Hellman there with the Whirling Death, but not quite able to find anything. Falio now taking a trade with Mario Vlad. A lot of damage coming down in a very short amount of time from the Volibear.
Yeah. Oh. So, as we approach the 10-minute mark just past, there's still, apart from in the mid lane, significant CS advantages for everyone on the side of Invul. So
Yeah, whereas in the mid lane it is a
still-
significant disadvantage, I have to say.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Mama and Helman could be looking onto Hufo and Blaffer right now. The Polymorph going to come through, the exhaust down as well. And Helman and Mama just able to dominate this lane between the two of them.
Yeah, Dragon is up though in 40 seconds, just under 40 seconds. And you have to kind of think, right now, overall, you would probably fancy Sammy to be in the driver's seat rather than
Well, considering Jonsson is in the top lane, going to flash off onto Mario. Stormbringer's going to come down. It could well be a solo kill on the top lane, but meanwhile, fighting in the bot side, Loftician now looking onto Mario Vlad. This Malphite is gone. Kingslayer going to drop the rock. And it looks like they're going to pick up top tower as the first turret of the game. Sammy looking to get involved in this bot lane fight, though. Going to take a couple of axes to the back from Helman. Nothing too severe. And they might drop this tower and look to answer back on the turrets. They are going to drop the Herald. Oh, and Helman's rooted up under the tower by the Xayah. Can they find anything onto him? No, not going to be able to. Chunked out very low by the damage. Veronica, though, could potentially look for the dive. They're going to have to kill out the Rift Herald as quickly as possible. Teleport coming down now from Loftician, and the Diego going to join the party. No dive going to be allowed to happen here.
I quite like what Veronica did there. Stole, I think, the Karma ultimate to use Inspire to get everyone out of there as the TP came in. So I think
was
that
nice.
quite a clever
Was
use.
nice to have the option of which ultimate you want. To be completely honest. Stun going to land onto Veronica, though. Veronica could be caught. Dragon is still being taken. Paranoia's popped, and the teleport from Mario Vlad going to come through. Invul just going to back away. Does it? It does force Regem off the Dragon, though.
And interestingly, Blaffer is very low with very little mana. So I think this is actually really good.
Yeah,
for
Helman and
Invul. I
Mama
think they
chasing
can
onto
force-
this. Oh, the inner flame. So much damage going to come through. This should be a Dragon going over towards Invul.
And that's really interesting, considering just how much Regem were controlling the tempo of the game, I think. And that's a big switch now. That's quite a big momentum shift. Taking the Dragon there.
We look up at the gold lead, and it is 2,000 in the favor of Invul.
Yeah, and it's because of those CS leads, as well as obviously the first turret being taken. It looks like Helman might be able to get another turret placing. He and Mama.
Let's have a look at the Draven stacks. 330 adoration stacks on this Draven. If he is able to cash that in, that's a lot of money going into Helman's back pockets.
Yeah, and that will essentially, along with the normal kill gold, be what, 1,000? Nearly?
Over, I think.
It would be over 1,000 gold. That is insane. If the Draven is allowed to cash in.
Does have the Immortal Shield Bow already completed.
Yeah. Which is a huge pickup, particularly against Xayah, Lulu. Decent amount of poke, obviously, in that lane.
Yeah, and Invul, you'd imagine, are going to want to make something happen around this Draven. Are going to want to get him that kill so that he can start snowballing. You also mentioned the Blade of the Ruin King for Loftician, and he has picked that one up as a first item.
Yeah. Now, Sammy is hidden in the bot lane. He has not been spotted yet. If he moves up any further,
Veronica
will be
roaming
spotted
down as
on
well.
the ward, though. Now, will Helman and Mama push up any further?
I don't think they're going to. I think their spidey senses are tingling.
Yeah.
They know something's afoot. Or a Zinzao, sorry.
Ooh,
in this case.
I'm not sure they do, though. Jonsson
Mama's going to find it out now.
Yeah.
That inner flame going to figure out that Sammy is waiting in the wings. Now it's Regem that don't know.
Yeah. And Jonsson does have the paranoia.
Oh,
Mama
wait, but Mama's
up.
caught on his own. The Tether going to heal him up and keep him alive. Veronica very low in this mid lane. Loftician does have the Heartbreaker. Falio looking to steal away the red buff as well. The mid and jungle going to be roaming up here. Yeah, Jonsson in the bot lane. There's action everywhere, all at the same time. And now Jonsson picks his moment. But I don't think they're going to quite be able to find anyone. Falio and Loftician. Kingslayer are going to come through onto Veronica, and Loftician finds the solo kill in the mid lane.
That's pretty big as well. Loftician starting to really get
Whirling
those
Death
stacks
whistles through. And now it's the turret going to be threatened. Paranoia is popped, and they're going to dive forward onto the Xayah and the Lulu. The regen bot lane really under threat. And Hellman, is he going to find his cash in? He does. I see 770 on the adoration stacks. Hellman with a double kill. So much gold into Draven's back pockets now. Sammy going to look to potentially answer and find something onto Mama. The turret should fall, but Mama might well in response and does. Hellman is going to stick around and pick up this turret, though.
I mean, I'd say that's still very much worth for Invul.
Oh, 100%. So much gold for
gets,
Hellman.
Yeah. Draven gets all of that gold without dying as well.
And we see that's the last Whisperer picked up as well as the full Berserker's Greaves.
Mario Vlad whiffed the Unstoppable Force there onto Loftician in the mid lane. Not sure if you saw that, but it was missed. And a big cooldown. A big cooldown there for Mario Vlad. Rift Herald is up, and I think Falio, knowing that the ultimate of Mario Vlad is down, will look for Rift Herald potentially.
Well, he's looking for the Scuttle Crab first, at least. Going to secure his team vision around the area. Gold lead up to 4,500 now as a result of that Draven cash-in.
Yeah. And turrets, definitely obviously in the favor of Invul. Mid turret down to about half health as well. And you kind of think this is, even with a very good early game from Regem, you've got Hellman and Loftician, who are gonna be utterly
very
huge.
much online.
And that's not to say anything against Falio, who has been dominating in the top lane, 122 CS to 87.
Yeah.
In the top lane.
All of the kills falling on to the mid and AD carry. Definitely not a bad thing if you are looking at this from an Invul perspective.
So, it's Dragon is in 30 seconds. It is Mountain Dragon, so we will potentially see a Mountain Soul.
Mountain Dragons in this game are going to be very important. Obviously, there's going to be armor stacking coming through from Regem with the amount of physical damage that is present on the Invul comp. So if they are able to stack these dragons, team fights are going to start getting incredibly difficult.
I do want to say a big purchase for Mario is the Bramble Vest pickup. A lot of the danger that comes from Invul's team is the amount of healing that they can do with the with Viego and Draven, and of course actually the Omnivamp of the Volibear as well. So that's a big pickup.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a dance around this mid lane. Johnson actually on the dragon right now, and no one really has vision of that. So Regem gonna just lose this Drake by virtue of not having any information. No, but never mind. They have a ward in the pit on top of it.
Yeah, they just could not get through the mid lane down towards it. And I like this. Falio, who has Rift Herald, is going to be allowed loose in the bot lane. I think we'll try to utilize.
Oh, Mama could be in trouble. Veronica's going to dive forward. Sammy's going to dive forward. Wild Growth comes down. I'm not sure that was really needed. But it is going to be another kill picked up for the Silas.
It isn't the longest cooldown, to be fair, of an ultimate, so it's not the worst thing to use. I can, at the very least, say that for Blathor.
There's going to be some damage onto this mid tower, but I don't know if they're actually going to be able to get the full turret off of that kit.
I don't think so. No, definitely not. And yeah, 5 to 5, but 2 dragons to 1, and the goal difference definitely in the favor of Invul right now.
Yeah, Hellman building up those adoration stacks again, looking for another big cash-in. Rift Herald summoned up in the mid lane, so Invul may be looking to knock down this mid lane outer tower and complete the trifecta of outer turrets in the early game.
Yeah, and I think they can...
one charge.
For a second.
One charge knocks the tower down. Falio charging forward, flashing even. Just to zone away Hufo and Blathor. It's going to guarantee the second charge. And Loftician joining up with his team in the mid lane.
Yeah, I don't mind the use of that flash there from Falio. If it had worked out and he could have got a stun onto Hufo, it would have been huge. But even so, just force them to back off from the Rift Herald and putting a significant chunk of damage onto the second turret there.
Yeah, definitely not the worst outcome in the world. I'm going to look to back. Is he going to be able to complete a second item hit? I am going to be looking at that one pretty closely. it is going to be able to complete the Lord Dominic's regards. That is a very big purchase, as the Baron is going to spawn.
So, Baron is spawned. Currently, no vision from Regem on the Baron. Bluffle will try.
I mean,
and
there's
get
not much vision really in the area from either side.
But true. And there is now the wards from Bluffle onto that.
Couple of wards sprinkled in here and there. Nothing too serious, but I expect we will start to see a lot more focus on this top side. Dragon not for another 2 minutes. So.
Interesting thing is that every single teleport is up right now. 4 teleports are all up, and that could be huge. Wherever the next fight is, I can guarantee
everyone can be there.
There will be everyone. Yeah, it will be like Smash Brothers Ultimate. Literally everyone is going to be there. Everyone's invited.
Fair enough. But it is Invul currently with more control over this topside river and a little bit better preparation for this Baron. We see Loftition and Veronica moving up towards the mid lane, looking to join up with the teams. And Invul actually starting the Baron. Falio and Jonsny starting this one off. The blue trinket going to come down. Going to spot Invul. Going to dissuade the attempt for now.
Yeah. Guttle picked up though by Jonsny.
Yep. And that is now the blue trinket gone. So there is only one blue trinket on the side of Regem.
And Loftition takes those wards very, very quickly.
Teleporting down towards this bot side, looking to maybe catch out Veronica, but the teleport is channeling from the Silas. He's going to get himself away.
Interesting.
I don't actually hate that teleport for teleport trade.
Yeah, I think both teams will actually be kind of okay with that.
It does give away a lot of control around the Baron pit for Invul, however.
True, but at the same time, it's now close enough to Mountain Dragon. 42 seconds, that I don't think that's actually too bad. I think the next fight won't be at Baron anymore. I think it now will be at Mountain Dragon, as it's just too soon to give up that dragon now.
And we can see just how ahead Hellman is. A full item clear of the Xayah.
Yeah.
A full Lord Dominic's regards ahead.
Yeah.
But Falio definitely going to be useful for his team. Going to be able to dish out a lot of magic damage and make up for that heavy, heavy AD that they have elsewhere on the map.
Big thing is Veronica is in the top lane with no TP, whereas, yeah, so this is just going to be Dragon taken by Invul.
Yeah, another Mountain Drake.
Yeah.
The tank stats that any of the Invul members build, if they so choose to, are just going to get amplified so much more.
Yeah.
Veronica going to be able to threaten this tower with Sammy waiting in the wings, but Loftition is here to answer. And the Whirling Death comes through as well. Oh, Loftition. Not going to overchase. Veronica going to catch the chain. I don't know if he even wanted to catch that. Because that's what happens sometimes. You throw out the skill shot and you don't actually want it to land. But there's 3 members waiting in the wings, waiting for Loftition to go forward. For the other members of Invul rotating up towards this top side now.
Now, the big question is, in these 4 minutes before the next dragon, Invul are in the driving seat with the dragons right now. They obviously want to get the Mountain Soul. What do Regem have to do to force Invul away from that Mountain Dragon?
Superior vision, I think. Just superior vision, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a flash forward from Falio. He's looking for Hufo, but no, the Shirelia's Battle Song, as well as the Lulu speed-ups, going to keep Xayah alive.
And Loftition again, just trying to get all of the vision away from that Baron pit.
Yep, keeping that area in complete darkness as now the Baron is started up. There is a ward that will spot this out, though, that Invul cannot see. So Regem know this is going to be going on, and now Invul know that Regem are ready to fight. Jonsny and Loftition going to back off the Baron. Falio catches onto Veronica with a stun. Kingslayer going to take the Silas over the wall before re-engaging back with the chains. Armor now trying to bind over, but Sammy caught. The Crescent Guard is popped. and it's just going to be a disengage. Invul taking the mid lane tower actually with the minion wave.
Yeah. And I like that. Pushing up, utilize that minion wave, and then all of them moving back down while the Baron was being started. Really good. Forcing all of Regem to move away from the turret to answer the Baron threat. And suddenly you've got a free turret from out of nowhere.
And then utilizing the darkness from the Nocturne, utilizing the chaos to just be able to get everyone out alive. Which, quite frankly, if you're able to get a tower like that, sure, you're losing out on the local gold. But you are not losing any members, you're not giving any gold over in return. Mario, Vlad, and Veronica looking for Falio here. This could be a very dead Volibear. And yeah, the Stormbringer going to come down. That's a lot of damage onto Veronica.
Huge.
Stormbringer comes down from the Silas, though. Going to keep Veronica alive. And that was a bit too close for comfort for the Regem solo laners, you have to feel.
That was way too much damage from the Volibear with that ultimate. It will mean Regem get a turret out of this.
I don't think it will.
Eventually. Eventually. I think. Actually, no. You are right. The Nocturne Johnson is going to come. And we know
the Paranoia
that
has been called through.
Yeah,
Mario Vlad going to be cut down. Loftician donated the kill, and he's now going to become the Malphite. But now it's a 5 versus 4. Invul can look on to the Baron.
And Falio does have TP. Falio, so when he's up, which is now, he will have TP, and he does
is
use it
joining
instantly.
No teleport for Mario Vlad, so Regem not with the same luxury. Sammy going to have to look for a steal over the wall if he even wants to try and contest this. Invul going to let the Wind Becomes Lightning timeout before turning back onto the Baron. Falio and Mama, though, maybe looking for a fight, finding the Hufo with a stun. But Falio now is going to get just absolutely blown to pieces as Invul finish securing the Baron. Whirling Death whistles through from Hellman. Loftician going forward onto Sammy. Wild Growth comes through. Crescent Guard comes through. Kingslayer going to take Loftician away. And it's just kiting back from Invul. The Featherstorm is popped. Flash forward from the Hufo. Blade Caller going to go wide. Jonsson going to get jumped on, but the Sterex Gauge comes through. Stridebreaker comes out, and now Hellman getting jumped on by Veronica. The Immortal Shield Bow going to come through. Hellman going to be able to get himself away over the wall, but no, dashing forward from Veronica going to find that one. But the Silas should be giving his life in return. Lulu also. Blaffor going to go, going to fall.
This is
no,
big for
the
Invul,
flash takes Blaffor over the wall. Veronica going to fall. Sammy now maybe over-engaged. The Dustbringer going to connect. Mario Vlad in the area, does have the Unstoppable Horse. Flash over, finding Mama.
Loftician,
But one going to go down. Loftician getting the resets on the Kingslayer. Triple kill for the Viego. Now going to turn into a Lulu. We know he can play this champion. And can Loftician get anything else done? It doesn't look like it. Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. Johnsony and Sammy not going to be available for it. So who is going to take the fight around the objective?
Yeah, really interesting. Everything happening there. I mean, I think, if anything, it kind of goes in the favor of Regem, realistically.
Loftician looking to go forward.
Dragon spawns now, practically. And looks like Regem are confident in their positioning.
Well, Sammy is
Silas
alive.
TP.
Johnsony only just coming up. Veronica teleporting in. Paranoia is available for Johnsony.
Yeah. So Falio's behind enemy lines here.
Yeah,
Very far behind enemy
Falio
lines.
going on to Blaffor, but is trapped here in a 1v3. Going to have to Stormbringer over the wall. Loftician diving forward, but going to get stunned up by the Silas. Kingslayer going to take him away. And it is the Dragon started up by Regem. I don't know if Invul are going to look to go for this, and it looks like they're just going to give it away.
I think they have to. I think Falio went too deep there, costing his ultimate, which is absolutely huge in team fights. And after that used, there just wasn't enough pressure for Invul to go for that fight. And it's, even with a 5k gold lead, Invul don't look particularly comfortable in
This game is become incredibly messy.
Yeah.
But it's definitely still winnable for both sides. It's going to be a very interesting one to see how this game reaches its conclusion. Gold lead has slowly started to grow, because it was 4k, then it was 4.5, and now it's 5, but it's not growing particularly fast. So not really anything that you need to worry about if you are on the Regem side of things.
Loftician is the only one with Baron buff, and it's going to be going relatively shortly.
Yeah, 10 seconds time.
Yeah. So Invul not really able to utilize the Baron buff particularly at all, unfortunately for them. And yeah, it's now just timed out. So even though they got the Baron, it didn't really do too much in the favor of them.
Loptician trading with Veronica, though. Paranoia is going to be popped as well. I don't know if that was from Veronica or not. I believe it was the Regem Paranoia, and now the Invul Paranoia is popped.
Interesting.
So both Nocturne Ultimates going down on top of each other, pretty much. No one's allowed to see anything.
I think that is actually a thing, though, that if you Nocturne ult a Nocturne ult, you can't use the second part of the recast of Paranoia.
Okay.
Because you can't see anyone.
Interesting.
I do, unless they are in your tiny vision range, you can't use it. So that's quite an interesting use of Yonseni's Nocturne ult there.
I didn't actually know about that.
Because you need the vision.
Yeah, no, I know. It makes sense.
So,
I've just never seen that interaction before.
Yeah, it is quite an interesting one. It's why having Silas in the game does bring so many different variances game to game. It's really interesting.
But we
and
have
now
Regem looking basically. Well, everyone's basically just catching waves wherever they can, trying to scale up as much as they can before the next big team fight. I'd expect it to be either in a minute and a half around the Baron or a couple of minutes time around the Dragon.
I think if you go for the Baron, it's so difficult. Obviously, it melts your resistances, and you've got to be so careful. I also think, particularly with that, melting resistances, I think Regem have to worry a little bit more about that, considering the amount of armor stacked by them.
True. This is very true.
That the more resistances that get taken away by Baron, the more Hellman and Loptician just start rinsing through Sammy and Mario Vlad.
Hellman's axes are going to start cutting through people like a knife through butter is basically what you're telling me.
Yeah, exactly. I do think that's something that Regem may have to think about.
Well, it seems to be that Loptician is enjoying this split push. He keeps attracting Veronica down to the bot lane on the
Baron
split.
Is in 30 seconds now. 30 seconds and a minute and 20 now for Mountain Dragon. So enough time between both for Baron to be taken and then an easy back towards Dragon if that is what happens.
But it doesn't look like that's going to be the decision from Invul. Committing multiple people towards this bot lane, maybe looking to force onto the Silas with the Nocturne ultimate.
Yeah, Loptician does have that level 3 Heartbreaker. I think it's Heartbreaker.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. So, a very scary prospect in that.
Yeah, and it's going to be Veronica just backing off. Loptician catches his next wave.
40 seconds until Dragon as well.
And it looks like Dragon is actually going to be the focus here. So Invul looking like they want to claim this soul before taking any further fighting.
So Falio's in the top lane, but does have TP. So is looking to try and get another turret before being forced to TP.
And Loptician getting his recall channeled through does also have the teleport.
Yeah.
And there are some good flanking wards in the Regem blue side jungle here for Invul.
Falio, meanwhile, is just taking that top turret nice and quick. He has the Nash's Tooth. Takes it very quickly.
Yeah, he can split push to his heart's content. All 5 members of Regem stuck down on this bot side. Now Regem are going to have to start channeling the recalls. They have to make a decision here. Invul sending 2 people to the Baron. Hellman and Mama. Gonna start doing that. Nocturne in the area. Teleport coming through from Loptician as well. And Invul is saying, yeah, sure, have the Dragon. We will take your top lane inhib. Or at least the inhib tower.
TP is popped as
we're going to take this Baron. Yeah, Falio and Veronica in the 1 versus 1. Falio trying to get himself away. Gonna turn back for a decent bit of damage, but Veronica gonna find the kill. Baron secured by Invul. Loptician left in the pit on his own. Gonna look to sneak himself away in the Mist Shroud. Mama trying to get away from Mario Vlad, and that's a decent amount of damage from the axe on Hellman. Loptician seems to have got himself out to safety, does have the cursed path. And it's gonna be 2 turrets and a Baron for Invul in trade for a kill and a Dragon for Regem.
Gotta say, I think Invul kind of become the winners here for that one.
Keeping this mid tower alive is pretty huge as well. Loptician getting the stun onto Sammy. Crescent Guard gonna come through. Paranoia popped by Veronica for the disengage, but the Heartbreaker comes down, and now it's re-engage on to Hellman. Sammy is deleted in the fight. Marma going to find the first kill. Veronica getting zoned off by Jonsony and Loftition going onto the backline, but this 1 versus 1, Jonsony and the Silas. Marma and Hellman going to join the fight. Cash in for Hellman. Loftition falls to the Zaya, but it's 2-4-1 in the fight so far. Invul taking the initiative. TP into the top lane from Falio. Going to look for this inhibitor, and Invul are chasing them away. Regem not able to do anything. The Paranoia coming through now onto the Zaya. Can they find Hufo? Hufo finds Jonsony, but it's a double kill so far in the fight for Invul. Triple kill going to come through as the Malphite falls as well, and that could well be game right there.
It's difficult to say whether game, I mean...
I think it could be. It's 9 seconds on Sammy.
It will be. That's
going to be the game, surely. It's Baron buffed minions.
That's huge. I can't believe...
What a team fight. This is
done that.
Invul with a victory that really didn't look particularly likely at one point. Going to be able to knock down the Nexus. Going to be able to take the 2-1 victory. Going to maintain the 100% record in terms of series. It might not have been pretty, but you'll take the wins however they come. Invul take the series 2-1.
Yeah, that's... Wow. What a turn around. I mean, I don't think we saw that it ending that quickly, but it did. It went from 0 to 100 absolutely insanely quickly.
Yeah, that game was a little bit mental. Yeah, I mean, that was... I want to say, oh, good, we saw the best Invul that we could have, and we saw the best Regem that we could have, but I really don't think we did. I think that game kind of devolved a little bit into a... No, I don't want to use the word fiesta, but you know what I mean. Yeah, a bit of a melee. Yeah.
Yeah. And to be fair, at the very least, as a spectator, it's still fun to watch.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and Invul coming out on top there, but being made to work for it by Regem. I really want to say how well Regem played the early game, particularly of that one, and dominated through game 2 as well. I'm really, really impressed by their performance this series.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of potential shown by Regem going forward in this season, looking at that series. But yeah, definitely something that needs to be reanalyzed by Invul, because this series could very easily have fallen away from them.
Definitely. I mean, that third game was pretty insane. You kind of think at one point, Invul, even 5k gold ahead, never really looked particularly in control, I think. And that's definitely something Invul will kind of look at and maybe try and in future games kind of see where they needed to put more pressure on, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely.
And in that game overall, though, I think something has got to be said by how well Loftition played. He was finally taken off the Lulus and the Karmas. The stabilizers were taken off.
Get this man off of e-girl duty.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get a winners interview? I wonder. I'm gonna check with the Invul boys to see if anyone wants to come for a quick chat with us, so we can get a bit more of an inside perspective on that series.
Another thing I want to point out is it was a 35-minute game. Both ADCs had 344 farm. Draven had 344. Zaya had 343. How insane were they at farming that game? Huge amounts of gold.
We are going to get an interview.
Both of them.
Actually.
Who is going to come?
We are going to be able to talk with our e-girl ruined king himself.
Ooh.
Loftition.
I won't say my title for him because it's banned on Twitch, but it is the King.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, Twitch, because I said a bad word. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I will punish Judgy off stream. Don't worry, Twitch.
Ooh.
Ooh.
No, please.
And then we're gonna get that underway. I'm gonna just sort that now, so it's gonna the call's gonna drop for a second, Judgy, but
no worries,
you'll be right back.
There we go.
Okay, so we are joined with Loftition. Hey dude, how's it going?
Oh wait, hold up, my stream's hello. Yeah.
Hello.
I'm a bit stressed.
I mean, after that series, I can kind of imagine.
I don't know. You know, I may be a young man, but I'm an e-girl player, so playing carry champ and it's really close, I'm shaking. Nah, but I
How
don't know.
how were things after the first game? Because the first game was
Um,
pretty one-sided, I would think is fair to say.
I think first game was like because we like killed them really hard or whatever, right?
Mm,
So we're chilling and we're talking about like draft, right? And I think it got to a point where it was just like, what do we want to play? Like, what do we want to play? Like bot or something, or
right.
something like this. And then it's gonna sound really bad after last game, but it was just like someone wanted, some AD carry wanted to play a fun champ,
Ah, okay.
so he picked Kalista for us, and we were like, okay, if we play early game very well,
Mm,
this is still a win.
yeah.
And then we didn't.
Yeah, I think the
So
Kalista was an interesting pick, shall we say?
Yeah.
it's a blows. We take those and we go into third game. And uh, I think we talked about like, all right, so what was the problem? What wasn't the problem? And we just like sit and draft, like, because there was like a delay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we were hovering Draven, but we wanted to pick Ziggs bot instead.
Okay.
And then we didn't get to pick it because we were like really late. So we were
Yeah.
locked in Draven, and then they had to like talk to admins and shit. So it ended up with us playing Draven because we were sick of waiting, I guess. And they were like, yeah.
I mean, Hellman's Draven is definitely, as we saw in that game, something to be pretty scared of.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking turbo smurf on that champ. I think if we go on that instead of Kalista, it will be 2-0. But we're chilling.
Mm.
I mean, 2,200 gold more than anyone else in the game on
Yeah.
that Draven. I mean, just brutal with the CS and pushing that advantage.
Yeah.
I have to say something. I do think that because the Malphite was top, did Falio had to change his Volibear build if it was a different top lane, or was he going to go tankier,
I
more
think
traditional Volibear rather than
what
the
we would.
AP?
I think we were talking about it because we were like all kind of, a bit shit. It's Malphite, and we're like full AD, but we were like we could maybe go like because we were thinking lane assignments. So it was
Mm.
Volibear could probably because obviously Falio's really fucking sick on that jump, right? Sorry for swearing if that's not allowed.
All good.
That's all good.
And so we ended up putting him on the Volibear, right? And then I think because we wanted to play side lanes this game because their fight was really strong.
Mm.
Obviously, like we didn't actually end up doing that often. I don't know what happened to that plan, but we're gonna take it later. But the plan was to just match them on sides, and since Fario had AP sort of items with his build, he could play against the Malphite. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Ended up with us just. I don't know. I don't know
Well, I mean,
how
you
do we
say
even explain this.
you
We
say
just
their fight was really insane, but it was actually like a team fight at the end there that kind of.
yeah, it was a team fight at the end that actually got them. I think it was mostly due to them overcommitting. There was one time in our base when I got to just
Mm.
do Viego things and just ult into four
Yeah.
people or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the big thing. You got a triple kill, and we're threatening for even a quadra.
It was funny.
The fight towards your own base,
Yeah,
and I just think it's incredible that from there you forced a Baron in such a lovely position, and were able to get a really nice fight to end off. And the TPs from both you and Falio were some really crucial ones throughout the
yeah.
game. Some really good
Yeah.
overall macro play.
I think we're like I think mostly as a team we're better. Probably. I think we're pretty good at this kind of thing. Like just sort of like because there was one point in the game where we were like shit, we lose fights, right? Or
Mm.
something like this. So we sit there and we try and somehow problem solve a game. Like even in game 2 when we fall behind early, I feel like at least made them sweat for it, like a little bit
Yeah.
like that. So like I kind of feel like we're at least semi good at that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I was just breathing.
Would you
Trying
like
to
to
keep
say
yourselves
anything?
calm after that, huh?
Yeah, just gotta calm down.
Would you like to say anything to Regem? Because they did play very well. Really put you to the sword. I thought.
I
Any
think
kind of comments for them?
Yeah, like saying to Regem, right? Like I feel like, oh yes, hello, 5 people that I've never met in my life, but I don't know. Yeah, I think they played like pretty well. Obviously, like from our perspective, we think it's mostly on us that we got to third game and that we played it like this. But obviously, they had to play like they had to punish us for it to get to this point, and they did. So like, all respect to them for that, I guess.
Mm.
I guess I would still would confidently still say that we're like when we play as we should or when we respect the mid reps, we are still better. But yeah, I think their players aren't too bad individually, and I think they could probably do well. I think it's funny because I feel like we had less issues versus probably Dark Side last week than these guys. So
Fair
good on
enough.
them, I guess.
Yeah. I think we're gonna need to wrap up pretty soon. I do just
Yeah.
want to leave you with last quote from Hellman in Twitch chat. He just says, "Could farm in peace while my team ran it,"
Yes.
which is yeah, I think very valid there.
Yeah,
Thank you so
obviously.
much, Loftician, for coming on for the interview.
No problems.
Yeah, thank you for coming and talking to us, Lofty.
Yeah.
And I think we are gonna end the stream off like Judgy was just saying. It was a hard fought one, but it is another series victory for the Invul boys. 2-1
Easy dubs.
over
Bye-bye.
Regem. 10 points and standing at the top of Leagues GG Sweden Summer. We will be back next week for the next series. Let me just figure out who that's actually against. I know that, right. Invulnerables Esports versus Victory Esports. 4th of July. Same time, same place. We'll let you know if anything changes. Otherwise, guys, hopefully we'll see you all then. Thank you so much again, Judgy, for joining me.
No worries. Always
Um,
fun.
and yeah, should be another good one next week. You're not going to want to miss that. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and we will see you then. Goodbye.